Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze, and we have Eric. Why are you wearing a hoodie today, McCabe?
That's a good question.
Yesterday
I woke
was
up this
chilly.
morning and it was like a little chilly this morning, and then I went home at lunch and it was like 82 degrees.
Yeah, it was like in the 60s this morning when I went to the gym, 60s and dark. But it's a lightweight hoodie too.
Yeah, it's like one of those like sun hoodies.
Yeah.
You know, like protection from the sun and all that. But yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad inside. Inside DD, it gets a little cold.
It does get a little cold.
So.
Does get a little cold. Oh, I got myself a little refrigerator to put in my office too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
what, you going to put 6 packs of beer?
Soda
beverages in there?
Sodas. I have my seltzers. My
Nice.
seltzers in there. So, but okay, real quick, I want a little bit of information for you. So now it's been a while since we've done an Answer Man show. We've been a little bit busy here, a lot of things going on, but we're back. And also, I'm going to be moving the Disc Golf Answer Man videos over to the actual youtube.com/Disc Golf Answer Man. Okay. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, great, another channel to keep up with. No, not yes and no. I get it. But I think the way the YouTube algorithm is and the way YouTube is pushing stuff out there, I want it. You know, guys, I always like to learn and experiment. So I want to experiment. So this episode will be on the Disc Golf Answer Man YouTube channel, but it'll be collaborated with
That's what I was going to ask.
the Dynamic Disc YouTube channel.
So explain to me what the collaboration on YouTube is. Does it show it? Because it doesn't show it on DD's YouTube channel, right? Does it just push it out to their subs?
Correct.
Okay.
And so that's the whole thing about the way, AI is getting smarter, algorithms are getting smarter, where you don't have to be subscribed to a channel for YouTube to push that content out to you.
Yeah.
Right? So if we put it on the Disc Golf Answer Man, my thinking is that the podcast style that we're doing will be what people, it'll push out to people that like podcast style. But we're going to also collaborate with DD so that, yes, if you're a subscriber to DD, you're not going to get notified or anything like that. But as you're looking through disc golf content, you should come across it.
Cool.
So we're going to experiment and see what happens there.
We'll see what happens.
So if you're come across this and you're like, whoa, shouldn't this be on the Dynamic Disc YouTube channel? Now you know why.
Or, how many subs does DGAM have?
I think like 1,200.
Dang, 12 million is a lot.
12 million. So, I don't know why I haven't moved it over there until now.
Cool.
No, it only has 1,200 subscribers, but I don't think subscribers.
I don't think that matters.
It doesn't matter as much as it did. It's still relevant. Don't get me wrong. It's still relevant. It doesn't matter as much as it did. Now, if you're an audio listener and you listen to an audio, it don't matter. It's still going to be the same channel that we've been putting out. Yeah. So that's good for you guys. So now, if you are watching this, and you should be watching this, if you're listening, you should check it out. But we have a bunch of discs on our desk. Like I said, it's been a while, so we have a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the Slammer first, because that's already out. That's the Slammer Slam Squatch.
Slam Squatch. It's classic blend plastic, and it is the OG Slammer. It's not the Saki Bomb ones that we had that are kind of have that harp bottom to them. These are more of a throwing putter. Is what I would say. I don't know how many people are familiar with this disc, but it's got a thumb track on the top like the Saki Bomb ones do, but it's not quite as dumpy. It's not quite as overstable as that one. I will say they are still pretty beefy, but not as just dumpy as those were. But great. They look fantastic too. When I opened that box, I'm like, holy cow, these things are like swirly and sick looking. Like I hadn't seen them before. So yeah, and it's got a really cool image. I don't remember who the artist was for this, but it's got a Sasquatch slamming a disc into a basket. So it's pretty cool.
And we have two colors here, this kind of teal and then pink.
Like cotton candies almost, right?
But there's about three or four
different colors. Yeah.
So check that out. Those are available right now.
Right meow.
And then we also want to talk about what's coming up for Halloween. Ooh. We have this Thursday. So today we're recording this on October 15th. So on October 16th, these are available. What are these, Eric?
This is a Moonshine Heist, and it's got one of my favorite Halloween stamps that we've done. I had the idea of like a zombie teddy bear kind of thing, right? And Kevin, our graphic designer, absolutely killed this one. I do have to admit that I called it Barely Alive, and I absolutely love that. Because it's spelled like barely alive, and it's got a little teddy bear and a little zombie on it. But this is Moonshine, so it glows in the dark. Perfect time of year to stock up on some Moonshine plastic, because it is officially glow season.
Yes.
So the Heist is a fantastic disc. It's been a great release this year, so we wanted to do some moonshine guys on those. These are color moonshine, so I believe we have like yellow, blue, and orange on these, and we also have what Bobby has in his hand is the Jury. So it's got kind of a cool little stamp on it too. It's got like a hand coming out of the ground. That's like dead guy coming out of the ground grabbing a jury, basically. I guess is what it is. But those are also color moonshine, so it is moonshine season as I spoke, and time to get some glow plastic in the bag.
And these are triple stamp, right?
These are both triple stamps.
Stamp. So nice color, different color variations, which is really cool. So
Jury's a nice, very predictable / overstable putter, so putt and approach type of a disc. So, all
right, then one more series, and then we'll hop into some questions, and we'll talk about some other discs down here in a little bit. But this is also from Hand Eye Supply. This is a skeleton series, and again, going along with the whole Halloween type spooky theme.
Spooky.
And I have in my hand a Trespass, and it has the Raven skeleton stamp on it, and then we also have the Convict, and it has a bat skeleton on it. It's really creepy, but really cool.
And then Eric, of course, I have the bat, or no, it's a kitty cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cat with a skull. Dead dude. But this is the old EMAC Truths, is what we'll say. It's not the new run, I believe. Let me look. Correct. This is the older run of EMAC Truths. So if you're concerned about the new EMAC being too stable for you, which I don't think you will be, but if you are and you really love these older ones, stock up on these now.
Now, how did you were looking at the stamp? How
I was looking at the bottom. So on the bottom of it, it has the same EMAC signature on it, but underneath it, the truth is in all lowercase.
Okay.
On the older ones is all lowercase. Now, if that truth is all capital letters, then you know it is the new or retooled version of the EMAC Truth, which, if you don't know, that disc has been retooled to fly closer to like the flight numbers of 5502, as where these guys are closer to like a 55, maybe -11, somewhere in that realm. But yeah, these are great. The new ones are great. Get them both.
Yeah. And these are moonshine.
Moonshine. Yeah, those are color moonshine too. These guys.
I need to do like a little moonshine. We need to do a moonshine round or something like that.
Yeah, they do every Friday here in Emporia.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. Every Friday, but you're not here on Fridays.
I know. Maybe I need to stick around on a Friday one time.
Friday.
All right, so let's get to the questions, guys. Thank you for sending the questions. Go to discgolfanswerman.com, submit your questions, and we will get them on the air and answer them for you. Now, this one's a little old, but let's see what you have to say. This is from Cody.
Yeah.
Are you guys sending any cool drops to USDGC this year? And are Bobby or Eric going to be in attendance?
I will be there. I will see you there. Officially, I will see you there.
He was there. We're obviously, this is after USDGC.
Yeah.
I was not there, but Eric was there.
I was there. And we didn't personally have any drops, but I hung out with Tyler Searle at SOAR, the SOAR tent, and he had some pretty cool plastic, some older school stuff. He had some Melton stuff. He had some team discs from House of Discs there that he was releasing, and I think probably the most popular item that he had was the new, I think it's Q-Line DD3s, the new Gannon disc for his commemorative Worlds win. So those were out there, and those were pretty good. USDGC was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I watched a couple other people that were out there, and they said the vendor village was really cool.
Yeah,
you said you spent a lot of time there.
There was a lot of people there. Every day I was there helping Ty with the tent and talking to people, and it was just really cool. Saw the shout out Disc Golf World guys. Talked to them a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, they were set up right across from us. So it was cool. Cool networking and hanging out. Been a while.
Cool. All right, next one is from Max. He says, with the Saki Bomb Slammer seeming to make its way out, will the mold be kept, or will we get another nice overstable utility putter with a thumb track?
Good question. I think you'll probably see. Depending on the popularity, we'd have to go back and look at numbers on this, I think, on sales and how popular the mold was and how many more people are requesting that mold. But I could definitely see us keeping that mold around because it is kind of like that very, harpish type disc for our lineup, and it has the thumb track on the top for easier grip on a forehand, and that's really what that disc is for forehand approaches. So I could see us possibly renaming it and keeping it in our lineup.
Very cool. Just so you know, too, I told somebody on Instagram Live before you got here. He said Air Heist. So
Already coming out next year. It's already on my...
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. There you go.
I can even tell you it's going to be June when you see them.
Boom.
But yeah, it is already Heist, Motive, and Treason all coming out in Air next year.
Heist. Oh, Treason. Air Treason. Oh, okay. I want to check that one out. I think that'd be good. So yeah, anyway, so I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. But if you happen to catch this, there you go. Air Heist coming out. John wants to know, how does the Treason compare to the sword? I used to have two amazing flippy tournament swords that would flip up and glide for days. It was when the numbers were printed 02, but they were more understable than any new sword I have bought since. I still have one of the old ones for comparison. Did they update the sword mold?
To my knowledge, no.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything to that mold. Now, keep in mind, much like the EMAC Truth, I don't know if it's possible that it's plastic run to run that changes the effect of the flight. Because you think about it, if a disc, that's why people like find those 2018 run of Trespasses that were blue with yellow stamps or whatever. You know, those are the ones I got to find because those flew perfect for them. If it cools different, if the dome is different, everything is going to have. Run to run, you know, now sometimes it's not as significant as others, but there are definite different runs that fly a little bit different. So I don't believe, you know, Oscar could correct me, but I don't believe that they've changed the mold on this sword. To my knowledge, they haven't. And that's why, you know, flight numbers are flight numbers. We just kind of deal with it. But as far as the Treason to the sword, the Treason is going to be quite a bit more understable than the sword. Similar in speed, but you're going to get a little bit more turn on that disc and a little less fade than you would, say, with a sword.
There you go. And if you're curious about how different skill levels throw the Treason, I just released a Is This Disc Right For You? I changed the format just a little bit where we're at. Instead of just going through and seeing everybody throw it and talk about it, we got a question we pose in the video, and then throughout the video we answer the question and then see the different throws. You see Eric throwing it. You even throw it. Look at dude, we're telling you the truth. You even see him throw it and it just turns.
Dumps. Yeah, just dumps over.
Yeah. So we want you to know. We want you to know if you're at that level, this is how it's going to throw. But then, of course, you turn around and you put it in the air, and it came back really nice. So
and roller too. I put it on the ground. I saw at USDGC. I was following Burridge, and I saw him throw a roller with the Treason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So and then I'm throwing it. Jackie's throwing it, and then we were able to capture a few of the juniors throwing it. So check that out on the YouTube channel. Yeah. Okay. Next one is Joshua. People often talk about making putting harder by making... Oh, that's interesting. That's going to be our topic we talk about later.
Hey, now.
So I'm going to save this question.
Okay, save it.
Okay, so let's go to Kevin.
Wait, you deleted it. I'm just kidding.
Okay. You scared me because I've been known to do stuff like that. Kevin wants to know, with the release of the Latitude's Zero Pro plastic, are Classic Pro judges and wardens happening, and are there plans to run that plastic in colors other than white? Now, I'm not familiar with the Zero Pro.
Only EMAC judges.
What?
That's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I have it on my projected 2026 release as well. The judge, I believe it's judge, warden, EMAC judge, and deputy, all in the Zero Pro. It's what Latitude. It's a new plastic Latitude release this year. It's the Peak in the Trilogy Challenges. That plastic type. It's marketed as the most durable baseline plastic.
Okay.
So it doesn't beat in quite as fast as, say, our Classic or our Prime, but it has great grip, good feel, and good consistent release.
Nice. There you go. Say one more time which molds.
Judge, warden, EMAC judge, deputy. So our four more popular putters.
Yes, I think I'm going to go back to the deputy.
Yeah,
I had the deputy. I switched to the judge because we had the Mr. Breeze, and so I was super excited about that. Yeah. But I think I'm going to go back to the deputy. I think it'll serve me better than the judge. So, but that's just my style.
Nice straight flying. All right,
yes.
It's a little straighter. So
yeah. All right. Caleb asks, "Hey Bobby and Eric, so I've been an active player since 2017. My first event was actually the 2018 Trilogy Challenge. I was curious when I started playing the Trilogy Challenge was full of at least one prototype disc a year. And over the past few years, 2021 onward, there seems to be less and less variety in the packs per year over year. I was pumped to finally see the Fusion Bounty come out because before this release, the only ones in existence were from the 2020 Trilogy Challenge. I didn't realize that. Mm-hmm. When I saw the Fusion Battle, I was like, what's the big deal? And then I didn't realize that. Anyway, I understand that this is a beginner's event, and it and the disc are more tailored to growing the sport. However, that does feel like it has gotten too stale over the past few years.
Agree.
A million%.
I couldn't agree more with that statement. And yes, it's funny because I actually sent an email over to the brand managers at Latitude and Westside and discussed, hey, it's that time of year. We need to start talking about Trilogy Challenge. What's the new molds for next year? Are we doing a new mold? Are we doing a new effect? What's the, who gets the putter, the mid, the driver? That's kind of how we do it. We kind of start out around this time of year and start working on those things. So if it were up to me and I made that final decision, I would at least do one brand new mold across the board. It's really, really hard to do 3 because, just how expensive a brand new mold is and promoting it properly. And, let's be honest, all 3 of the we'll call Trilogy brands have a full lineup now. And it's hard to replace like a putter or a staple mid-range in your bag. So the thought was to go and kind of do like maybe new effects instead of new molds. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to try and get back to where we can have like a brand new mold. And I'm pushing for it to be a new DD mold next year.
People, you speak it, we listen.
Yes.
And it may or may not happen.
Yeah, you never know.
So let's see. Let's jump to John. The question is for Eric.
What's up, John?
All right, I'll leave. See you.
See ya.
I live in Dubuque, Iowa.
Yep, Dubuque.
Which is right next to Peosta.
Yeah, you did it. First time ever you've said that right.
Right. Where you said you had redesigned the Kelly Oaks course. I was just there and noticed that the city has not gone through with the redesign yet and was wondering if they gave you a timeline of when things would be complete. Loved the course, played a lot when I was first starting,
cool.
And it taught me a lot about my game.
Awesome. Yeah, that park is phenomenal. It's got some great rolling hills. It's not super long, but there's some good elevation. The timeline, I need to make a note and send him an email again. But I think the timeline was hopeful to be by end of fall to have the baskets in the ground and the new tees poured and all that. Now, it isn't a full redesign. It's really only 2 to 3 holes that we had to tweak because of the walking path. The walking path is done, and now I think most of their focus is on the pavilion that they're building on property. So pavilion/parking lot is kind of takes priority over where the disc golf course is and where it goes, unfortunately. But I would say by spring, you're going to be playing a relatively new disc golf course there.
Why do people want to redesign a course?
I think a lot of it is, in my opinion, a course is always ever evolving. So like, for instance, Jones Park. Look how many reiterations that Jones Park has gone through. We've redesigned that course. We've moved baskets. Like, every year when we used to host GBO, after GBO, one of the big topics was, what are we changing? What are we going to, I think a lot of it is just freshening up and making maybe the course harder, or if a hole play too hard, making an easier pin or tee pad, losing trees. The city comes through and puts a sidewalk through the middle of your property. Those are the main reasons that you see for a redesign. There's not too many courses out there that have gone in the ground and that's the layout that stays forever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's usually some modifications to whether it's, like I said, new tees or new pins, or sometimes like Jones Park, a full redesign a handful of times, because we've done that a handful of times out at Jones Park. But I think every time the course gets better. Now, there are some old heads that kind of like, man, I really miss the old Jones. I miss this old hole. And I agree. I miss some of those old holes too. Matter of fact, my first ace is a hole that's non-existent anymore.
Wow.
It's completely gone. And cool thing is, my 30th anniversary for that ace is coming up next month. I'm thinking about taking a portable basket out and setting it up where the hole was,
and see if you can get it,
and seeing if with the same disc. But I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not. But yeah, so that's kind of it. There's to me, it's like being an artist, I guess, almost. It's you're never satisfied.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, sure, you can get a course that you're super happy with, and look at the courses on tour. Look at, like, for instance, USDGC. What's the topic every single year at USDGC? What'd they change?
Yeah.
What's different? You know, and they're always trying to make it more difficult. No different than park style golf.
So, well, you mentioned the changes at Jones. I remember when I first got back here, I was going for walks, and I would take a couple discs with me to throw, and I got lost on Jones.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like, I don't understand this course anymore.
What is going on?
So when it comes to redesign, is it about the same or less as far as the red tape to make a redesign happen? Is it more difficult to make a redesign happen or get a course in?
Typically, it's a lot easier to do the redesign because you've already dealt with, you know, the red tape, the whatevers that you need to go through. Now, if it's a thick wooded course, then maybe it's a little more challenging. But for the most part, the red tape is a lot thicker on a new course.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. All right, I'm going to jump down to a couple questions. I know the answer. So Mike said, what happened to the episode around August 26th that was posted for a day, and now it's nowhere to be found? There was some kind of technical snafu. But I have it now figured out, and I pushed it back out there. And you'll see, if you are an audio listener, it'll say re-upload. And so I re-uploaded that episode. I am not sure what happened.
You even redesign.
I know.
Podcast episodes.
Let's see. And then another one. This one is an interesting question from Joshua. He says, two-part question. Why does it seem, I think that's what he's saying, that disc golf apparel stock is always lacking? Does it not sell well? Is this why? And then he has a statement. I love hats and patches, and it always seems that there isn't enough hats or patches. And from my perspective, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it is. Apparel with disc golf has always been a weird animal. I remember back in the day when Denise
You like what you like.
Yeah, and Denise was in charge of apparel. We were working together to do apparel. And you think something would hit, and you're like, man, we see it everywhere, and then it just wouldn't hit.
Yep.
And then you're stuck with a lot of apparel. And then, so that's basically money sitting there that you want to reinvest into more apparel, but you can't because it's just sitting there, and you got to sell it. And then it's like, do we discount it? Do you lose money on it? And all that stuff. So,
kind of like bags.
Yes. It's really finicky.
Yeah.
And then I think the other,
But that said, you are going to see some more apparel coming out and some more hats and patches and those kind of things coming down the pipeline. But it's just tough to not read the room, I guess, but it's tough to pinpoint what direction we want to go as far as what images we want on a shirt, because it's got to be popular. And a lot of times in the past, it was, whoever was in charge of that, it was kind of their taste going out. And we want to open the door up a little bit more and create things that maybe I wouldn't wear.
Yeah.
But there's tons of people out there that would.
Yeah.
So
you'll see more what our design guy calls always on, meaning it's just kind of like has our name. It's nice colors. The colors will change, but it'll say dynamic discs or have the double Ds. But then also you'll see some other stuff. So hopefully you'll see some more stuff. But it's going to be like,
man, I'd like to see that on a shirt.
That would be. Are we allowed to do that?
Sure, it's ours.
Yeah, that's a. Yeah. Why don't we ask them to put that on a shirt?
We're gonna do it.
Boom. So yeah, you'll start seeing more stuff. So we're excited about that. Okay, let's talk about these other discs that we have.
These other discs.
So this one's kind of a funky retro mixtape. They call it design.
All I can hear is the Saved by the Bell theme when I pick that disc up.
It's true.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. That does look like Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
So this is on a Glimmer warrant.
It's 90s mixtape, I believe, is what the stamp is called. So it's a triple stamp as well. I think we just happened to have the stamp around, and we had some Glimmer warrants that looked really cool. And these things feel good. They don't feel like a normal warrant for whatever reason. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to the warrant because I don't bag the warrant. But the warrant is a pretty understable mid-range. So it's, as far as stability goes, you got the Justice on one end, and this is on the other end of that spectrum as far as stability would go. But the warrant can be thrown by almost anyone. If you do happen to have a little bit slower arm speed, highly recommend picking up a warrant. Or if you play a lot of woods golf, that hyzer flip dream, this is real.
I always have a warrant in my bag.
I thought you were going to say you always have a warrant for your arrest.
No. Though I really am into body cam videos. Have you watched those yet?
I haven't, but you've told me about it numerous times.
I am addicted, dude. Do you ever watch Cops? Remember Cops?
I used to watch Cops.
And Live PD?
Why are you sweating? I was watching Cops earlier.
Why, there are cops here? Did you ever watch Live PD?
No. I watched like Alaskan State Troopers or those kind of shows. So I got the gist of what the show is.
It's like Cops on steroids because it's
action-packed.
It's
right
literally
there.
the body cam that police officers wear. And so there's some that are just simple like traffic stops.
Gotcha.
There are some that are like they have to do the sobriety test. And then there's some where like people are just fighting the cops. And there's some where there's like shooting. I mean, it's
intense.
There's one called Mind Rush, and they literally say, "Get ready for a mind rush," and I'm like, "Let's go!"
Man,
yeah, I'm addicted. Sorry,
sounds like it.
So let's talk. Let me know if you watch the body cam.
Comment down below.
Comment below your favorite body cam YouTube channel, so I can get some more. So we have the Drift plastic. Now this
finally out.
Yes, it's out for wholesale. So if you're a business and you need something new for your store,
or if you have a local business that you go to buy discs, let them know. Pick up some of these drifts.
So, and then they go live October 30th for retail. But tell us why, Eric, why did you bring back the Drift?
So we tried to do the Drift plastic, what was that, 2014-ish with the Witness, and they were terrible.
Can I get a witness?
Absolutely.
It was bad.
Terrible. So with the zero gravity plastic that came out a year or two-ish ago from Latitude 64, it really made me get to thinking that, hey, we're the recruitment brand here. We need to do this. We need to have discs that float on water for, I don't know how many times I've talked to new players or someone looking to get into the game, and they're like, man, that's $18 disc. Does it float? Because my course has a lot of water on it. Well, unfortunately, no, it doesn't. So this solves all those problems. And we did a video not too terribly long ago with Bobby and I, and he was throwing these discs, and I would say the majority of them flew, I would say, similar to the flight of like the normal molds, maybe just a tick more understable. So if, like, for instance, the Escape or the Sergeant is quite a bit stable for you, these are going to fly exactly like they would for Bobby, like Bobby throwing a max weight one. So when Bobby goes out and throws a max weight Escape, this is probably going to fly for you just like that. But we wanted to come out with a line of discs that's, relatively inexpensive. We're going to have some starter sets coming before too long as well, but something that, beginners can get. There's a lot of courses out there with water. I love designing courses with water. It's job security when we sell discs, but here, we'll throw you a bone and throw you some light ones that do float on water.
Yeah, so we have the Escape, we have the Evidence, the EMAC Judge, and the Sergeant. And yes, I've been working on a video. I'm going to do some more filming tomorrow, but working on a video where it's going to show me throwing it, and then I'm going to recruit my wife because she doesn't play disc golf. I'm going to have her throw it to show what it's like for someone that's just a brand newbie.
What are you going to do if she outthrows you? When she outthrows me. What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Not show that video?
Yeah, not show that video. Yeah. Keep that video.
Yeah. So if it never comes out, you'll know why.
Yeah. So anyway, pick up that with the Drift plastic. And you mentioned the weights? These are 120 to 130.
120 to 130 gram. Yeah.
So
and I'm already working on 2 new molds that I believe will fit this lineup really, really good for next year.
And I noticed when I would talk to stores, especially when I would visit stores, that's one of the things like I don't want to call them old school, but some of the people that have been around for a while, they're like, we need more lightweight discs, and that's what these are going to be great for. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for the questions. Excuse me, but I wanted to talk to Eric about...
We did have that other question, too.
Oh, that's right. The question we're going to go back to. That's part of the topic.
That you said is part of the topic that you're about to drop.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
People, this is from Joshua, and this is interesting that he asked this because this is a topic I wanted to talk about. People often talk about making putting harder by making the basket smaller, but that would require replacing baskets. My idea is to alter the current distance between the band and the top of the cage. Just making the cage 4 to 6 inches on the pole would accomplish the goal of making putting harder and only require a drill and a drill bit. Thoughts? Whoa.
I don't know if it would require just a drill and a drill bit. Have you seen some of those baskets that have been out there for years that are just like corroded and like you're not getting that off with the drill bit? But I get the concept of it, making it more shallow, I guess. Like your sweet spot is going to be a little bit more shallow rather than shrinking. You know, I almost think you need to shrink the whole basket if you're going to shrink it. You know, the basket itself, because I mean the basket itself was made to catch, like the size of it was almost made to catch, you know, ultimate frisbees, like actual frisbees or 86 molds, you know, a little bit bigger in diameter. So there's a lot more room. If you think about a putter coming in, there's a lot more room for error on that. But as I always say, when we're talking about baskets and spit outs and whatnot, we throw things at things. It's never going to be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
You can perfect it, well, maybe like just decrease the spit outs if you have a better basket, you know, but at the end of the day, there's different baskets for different styles of putting too. Like the Mach X is made more for hitting it hard, because if you have a soft putt, you're going to have more tendencies to pop out, as where some of the other baskets, they're a little better on those softer putts coming in. So I don't know. It goes both ways there. I would love to see some samples, I guess, and try putting on them or that. But you're right. It is going to cost a lot of money to do that, unless it's like the Pro Tour. You know, maybe just the Pro Tour needs it for them and not for everyday courses. Because I would hate to put on these tiny little baskets on one of these like beginner-friendly style courses that I'm putting in the ground. You know, because you want it to be user-friendly, and I feel like making putting harder at that level makes no sense, but it could make sense at the professional level to make putting a little bit harder. I don't know.
I mean,
people are afraid of change too, though.
They are afraid of change, but I mean, I know that people don't like to compare the two sports, but that's like saying, you know, for the tour, the golf tour, should we make the holes smaller for them and not us, so that the amateur player can still enjoy it, or the beginner golf player can still enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
I need those foot golf holes on golf to make putts.
No kidding. So yeah, would I say yes, your solution, Joshua, would seem easier than just replacing them all, but it still would be a massive undertaking to change all these baskets.
I mean, I think there's more to it too than just shrinking it, because then you're going to have all this. The chain is just going to be kind of like hanging, like laying down in the bottom of the basket almost, right? And you'd have to almost cut links of the chain off to make the chain a little smaller too. I don't know. I can't visualize what it would look like.
So what made me want to talk about this topic is USDGC. Now, one of the big stories that seemed to be out there was the new baskets. And I'm not trying to dog on them or anything like that. I'm not down.
Yeah, he is. He told me right before we recorded that, hey, I'm going to dog on these guys.
No, I'm not, because I know they were just trying something new and something different. But it just made me think about, like, I get it. People are always going to gripe or say something about a basket, and not every basket's going to be perfect. Things are going to happen because, like you said, you're throwing something at something else. It's not always going to land quite perfect. But it made me think about, so a lot of people, another topic that comes up is like, do we need to make it harder for pros, the Pro Tour, for when they play, so that it doesn't become boring? I mean, now they're even talking about how people don't like seeing the same players all the time because they're always on video, or always the same people on video. So
sorry, they're good.
I know. So I don't know if that's really the problem. Is that, do we need to make the baskets harder to putt on? Would that solve anything?
I don't know that it would. I mean, no. Here's the thing: nobody wants to watch a bunch of players just miss putts all day long either.
No,
you know what I mean?
Boring too.
Well, it's disheartening. You don't want to watch that. You don't want to. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is, but I think the tour has done a pretty good job of making more challenging holes, making the golf harder. USDGC is a great example of that, how they continue. Like, every time I go there, I feel like the OB gets tighter and tighter. From my first year, I think it was, I want to say 2003 was my first USDGC, and it was wide open. You know, there was hardly any OB. Like, there were people that went and played OB-free tournaments, let alone rounds. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like courses are getting more challenging in that regard. But then, I mean, it's a whole animal of woods versus open. So I don't know that I really have the answers for the basket issues, we'll say, right? And I think a lot of it is these spit outs you're seeing, they're not all spit outs either. You know, there's some that are high, low, left, right. It's just because it hits chains does not mean that it should stick. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You know, now those ones that hit, turn, cut all the way through or hit the pole and bounce back to you. Yeah, but guess what? That happens. It's just part of our game. Yeah. That's how I see it. It's just part of our game.
Yeah. And I'm saying, you know, obviously if you're the person making that putt and you know that it counts. Sure. And a lot, you know, a stroke could mean cashing or not cashing or how much cash you get.
Or a win or a loss.
Yeah. And so I'm sure it doesn't feel good, but it does happen. The other thought I had was, you know, they said standardized baskets. You know, a lot of people want one basket and it's like, I don't think
we're too small of a sport for the DGPT. The DGPT, they rely so much on those manufacturer dollars and sponsorship, and for them to be like, we're not going to use your basket anymore. Yeah, we're not going to give you any money anymore. No, you know what I mean? Like, no. I don't know that would work either unless they built their own basket, and then they're going to have. That's a whole nother headache they're going to have to deal with is making sure their specs line up to every other course that's already out there to make sure their ground sleeves, you know, and then think about how many they're going to have when traveling because, you know, typically they're going to have 2 whole courses because of FPO and MPO, and then you're going to have a whole nother set that goes to the next town to start setting up. So there's a lot more that goes into it than just, hey, standardized baskets. Yeah.
Here's my thought too. And you mentioned, you kind of talked about it a little bit, is that, you know, a lot of people don't like certain baskets. You know, they favor different baskets. But to me, it's part of the skill for the player to know, oh, those are those baskets. Mm-hmm. Now I know I have to putt harder.
It's no different than a golf green.
Yeah, a golf green. Or I was thinking even a racetrack, like you know, race car drivers. They got to know certain tracks are certain ways. Mm-hmm. Certain baskets you got to putt certain ways, and to me, that's part of the skill.
It's part of the game. Yeah, totally. So, I agree with that.
All right. I just thought it was interesting. I didn't watch all of USDGC, but the little bit I watched, and then of course, kind of the coverage that people put out there. I know baskets was the big deal.
Yeah, there's some spit outs. I saw some spit outs, but I don't know. The thing about about Innova using that basket at that event, I don't know that I disagree with the decision, but I did find it weird that a major championship is the time to test it out.
Well, surely they tested it before, but you're thinking they should have tested it at a tournament with these top players before it was such.
Because, I mean, I most of the players, that was the first time seeing it.
Yeah.
Was on those, true. You know, during practice rounds and whatnot. A big stage. So it is a huge stage for that. But I mean, USDGC is notorious for trying new rules, and I mean that's why ratings don't count for that event. But because of the stroke and distance and those kind of things to make the course a little more challenging. Which I don't hate that for the ratings part of it because at that level, ratings really don't matter. Yeah. I mean, they do to a certain degree, but they really don't. They really don't.
That'll be a discussion for another episode. Okay. Ratings don't matter, just like flight numbers.
All numbers. No numbers
matter. All right, so just a quick recap. We've got some Slam Squatch, the Slammer. Pick that up. Those are on sale right now. This Thursday, October 16th. Pick you up a Hand Eye Supply, Skeleton Series, Moonshine, Trespass, Convict, and EMAC Truth. The Moonshine Jury, that's coming out as well on the 16th. The Moonshine Heist. And that's available. And then coming up in a couple weeks is the Glimmer Warrant.
Wake up late for morning and something I don't remember.
And then
Drift Plastic.
And then a couple weeks we're going to have Drift Plastic. And make sure you stay tuned for the video out to learn more about Drift Plastic and to see how different skill levels throw it and to see if it's something maybe you want to pick up. I mean, even if you just have one water disc in your bag.
Sure. Yeah, get the putter. Beneficial. The putter flies pretty much just like a normal putter. Yeah. Just easier to throw.
All right, guys. Send in your questions, discgolfanswerman.com. We'll see you on the next episode.